Good morning. I wanted to start right off with this new track from Tropical Storm Idalia. If you were watching the 4:30, what we had was the 2 a.m. advisory. An advisory was issued just a few minutes ago at 5 a.m. So here is your update. So bump up by 5 miles per hour, 65-mile-per-hour winds. Now moving northward, it was basically stationary, just kind of rotating right there northward at 7 miles per hour. So still forecasted to kind of go right in between Mexico and Cuba, seeing there becoming a Category 1 hurricane. Look at this new change too. Originally we had that Cat 2. It's now been bumped up before landfall, intensifying to a Category 3 hurricane. This is going to be Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. So sometime on Wednesday morning, that's where they're looking at that window kind of from Tampa all the way through the Big Bend of that landfall. And notice as it goes over closer to Jacksonville, still a Category 1 hurricane, and then bending off to the East Coast. So that means impact strongest as far as that wind and storm surge along that Big Bend area, but still Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina coastline feeling tropical storm impacts. And you see that kind of spiraling and moving off into the Atlantic Ocean. Now notice this cone, how it kind of arches through. Our location is right here. When you talk about tropical events, you can get impacts that are beyond the cone, but thankfully for us here locally, we're not going to get kind of it right over our area, bringing large swaths of rainfall. So for us here, when we're looking at Wednesday, it'll be some minimal impact. So we do have rain and storm chances the next 2 days, not related to the tropics, but showers and storms will be likely. Some isolated activity this morning, but that's going to start picking up your Monday afternoon into the evening. This 20% on Wednesday really comes into play for our southeastern communities. Those are the ones that can be kind of swept through with a little bit of that tropical rain as it pushes through. And then the rest of the week really looking at drier weather and more sunshine. So let's kind of break that down. Here's our clouds and radar right now. A little bit of activity in Barron County, Jackson County, but here's kind of the big picture. We have this stationary front, and that's going to help trigger some of these storms as we go through the next 48 hours. Partly cloudy skies right now, but as the day progresses for your Monday, it's eventually going to become mostly cloudy. So as we look at futurecast for this morning, most of the rain chances that we have for the morning time are going to be along kind of the plateau. So from Jackson County riding up those ridge lines. But notice for the afternoon, once it gets past 1 p.m., we have some breaks in the clouds, but we also begin to get these individual cells that pop up, kind of packing a punch with quick bursts of rain, but also some gusty wind with that as well. That's going to continue into your Monday evening, even Monday night, still seeing some of that thunderstorm activity. In fact, those scatter storms will continue kind of on and off with those times of showers and storms for your Tuesday as well. Not until Tuesday night do we really see this kind of pushing and exiting out of our area. Now remember, Wednesday, that's the day for us here locally with some minimal impacts from Idalia. What you're going to see is some clouds. This is kind of that outer cloud bank. So the further to the west you are, more sunshine, and then just a small chance for some of our eastern communities could pick up a little bit of rain. So total rainfall for us today and tomorrow, not related to the tropics, about 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches, although a couple of spots could see even more than that. And there is a low end severe threat for this afternoon into tonight. You can see that level 1 marginal risk, that dark green color covering up a large portion of our area. That means we have this isolated threat that we could see some damaging wind gusts. So we're changing from the heat that we focused on last week to now raincoats and just staying aware of the fact that we'll have some thunderstorms that could include picking up kids this afternoon, your evening time commute. For most this morning, there's not a whole lot of storm activity, but a few of our western communities could run into a little bit of that rain.